30,000 crore rupee Punj Lloyd Group is an international conglomerate with core operations in the EPC segment. Though it was set up in 1989, Punj Lloyd forayed into the defence segment almost a decade later, and it was only in 2012 that its first defence manufacturing facility was set up. So on this week's edition of Make in India, New Deal for Defence, we look at the capabilities that Punj Lloyd is building for the defence sector. CNBC TV 18's Sajit Manga travels to Malanpur near Gwalior to capture the Punj Lloyd story.
Defence may not be big on the balance sheet of Punj Lloyd, but it's certainly big on the mind space of the Punj Lloyd management. In 2006, when the defence sector was opened up for private sector participation, Punj engaged McKinsey & Company to chart out its foray into the segment.
In 2006, the group decided we needed to diversify. And we said, how do we diversify? So we got McKinsey in, and McKinsey did a study for us and said defense would be the area which, it's opening up, and a company like us, which has been there for 25 years, would be the right fit to get into defense. So that's how we started into defense.
But how does an EPC contractor foray into the defense sector with practically zero experience? Well, Punj Lloyd tied up with German defense major Rheinmetall Air Defense, Singapore-based Singapore Technologies Kinetics. All was looking well till both Rheinmetall and Singapore Technologies Kinetics were blacklisted by the Ministry of Defense. But that did not deter the Gurgaon-based company, and it stayed engaged in the defense sector by focusing on building capabilities. The company started work on a dedicated defense facility just outside Gwalior at the Malanpur Industrial Belt in 2007.
Punj Lloyd began its foray into defence in 2007. By 2012, it had its first facility in Malanpur to cater to the air defence and artillery segment.
As per records available with the DIPP, Punj Lloyd holds 6 defence licenses spread across a wide spectrum of utilities and services, which include small arms, air defence, missiles, naval vessels, torpedoes, artillery guns and aviation. It has recently applied for the extension of its small arms license to enter this market. Aiming to graduate from a supplier of parts to being a systems integrator and a Tier 1 supplier, Punj has structured its defence operations into 4 segments: land systems, aerospace, small arms and homeland security.
Punj Lloyd decided to get into land systems. In land systems, air defense and artillery. Then aviation. In aviation, we decided to have the full gamut: engineering, manufacturing and MRO. Then small arms, so starting from component manufacturing to getting into full. And then homeland securities, where we are doing full body truck scanners and container scanners.
Defence licenses are scattered under different arms of the company, and Punj Lloyd is looking to consolidate its operations under one holding company called Punj Lloyd Industries.
To give it focus, we are bringing it under Punj Lloyd Industries Limited. It will be a subsidiary of Punj Lloyd Limited, and it will have all the businesses of defence put together there. So this will give us that required focus which it requires to grow it.
Punj Lloyd made inroads into air defence and the artillery segment at the start of its journey. Its initial plans to participate in the ultralight Howitzer program hit a hurdle after its foreign partner, Singapore Technologies Kinetics, was blacklisted by the defence establishment. But that did not stop the company from investing and participating in the air defence upgrade program. Punj Lloyd is a frontrunner along with PSU Bharat Electronics Limited for upgrading the made-in-Russia anti-aircraft gun Zu-23. The solution provided by Punj has qualified the technical rounds and awaits commercial negotiation. The 23mm Soviet-era anti-aircraft gun has been transformed into an electronic gun with night vision sight and electronics that locks, tracks and fires at hostile aircraft automatically.
It will be approximately 100 million. It's 468 guns which needs to be upgraded. They are basically a mechanical gun which needs to be upgraded to a totally electronic gun which becomes automated, and that's what we are looking at.
While Punj is betting on the Zu-23 upgrade, it's also participating in other upgrade programs, including that of the L-70 air defense program. Punj has already crossed the expression of interest stage and is awaiting the request for proposal for this program. The company has presented the concept of gun missile systems, which is under technical evaluation with the defense forces and will allow the forces to engage multiple targets simultaneously.
we've had a product called gun missile system, where we've already fielded the tech for MOD technical evaluation, and the technical evaluation is going on.
Punj Lloyd is also betting big on the artillery segment. It has evoked interest in upgrading the outdated 130mm Howitzer. In this program, Punj has proposed to provide technology upgrades like muzzle. It hopes to field upgraded solution for this gun this year, and the army needs nearly 300 such guns, even though experts believe that the defence forces should go for new howitzer systems altogether.
Punj Lloyd is actively participating in the upgrade of 130mm Howitzer. It plans to upgrade this gun into 155mm.
If you look at the gun, the barrel needs to be changed, which is the main barrel, because it will become a 155-45 barrel. Then the muzzle brake needs to be changed, the beach mechanism has to be changed, the recoil systems have to be changed, the loading mechanism has to be changed. So it basically goes to an overall totally to become a 155-45 gun.
Besides these projects, it's actively participating in providing upgraded components of the artillery segment. It's participating in the upgrade of Dhanush. It was amongst a few private sector players to supply maximum number of components for the Dhanush. Punj is working on bidding for the mounted gun system program, which will require the company to build a 155mm gun. It's also partnering with the DRDO for the advanced towed artillery gun.
This was one of the programs we got in, but we started working on component manufacturing. So we worked with gun carriage factory for the Dhanush upgrade. So maximum number of parts which were given to private sector to be made locally, we were the people who came in and made it. There's a loading device which we are making, and there are a lot of other critical components which we are making for them. Along with that, a new DRDO is developing a advanced towed gun system, ATGS as they call it. We are making a critical component for that too.
While BAE Systems bagged the contract for the 155mm light howitzer by fielding its M777 gun, it's looking for Indian partners to manufacture in India, and Punj maintains that it is open to partnering with the British gun maker. Punj is also eyeing the futuristic infantry combat vehicle and is one of the recipients of the expression of interest along with other companies.
There will be core products which we have, which is like an air defense gun and the turret, which we own, which we will anyway be fielding. So that clearly goes into it. Then there are a lot of obviously requirements for it. We have partners where we will be partnering to field our products there. It will be a consortium. We will be the priming it, but we will have partners along with us, global partners, Indian partners, who will field their products to give this.
Punj Lloyd has been a recent entrant into the aerospace segment, and within the last 3 years, it boasts marquee clients like HAL and Airbus.
Punj Lloyd is betting big on aerospace. It has started with projects to manufacture components for Sukhoi 30 and advanced light helicopters. It hopes to make a mark in the aerostructure industry in the next 5 years.
Punj began its engagement with aerospace when it converted part of the Malanpur facility for Aerostructure parts. It started with an engagement with Hindustan Aeronautics by supplying components for the advanced fighter, the Sukhoi 30. It builds upper and lower fuel tank panels for the fighter jet. Not just that, it also manufactures outer engine casing for combustion chamber of the Sukhoi 30. This engagement has today extended to providing gearbox casing for the advanced light helicopter being built by HAL. Punj is also manufacturing the fixtures for the Tejas advanced light combat aircraft, which will be used by HAL to manufacture the Tejas aircraft.
We took the upper and lower tank panel for Sukhoi, which we are doing, and we have already supplied to them. The engine component, the combustion chamber outer casing, is something which we have made and we have supplied. We are manufacturing for the advanced light helicopter. The main gearbox is something which we are developing now. For the Tejas, we are making the fixture for the fuselage. The whole fixture where the fuselage will eventually be made and structured, we are making that right now.
Punj has ensured that it has the design capability for the aerostructure space. It's formed a joint venture, Aero with French company GECI to design parts. This joint venture, based out of Bengaluru, has already worked with Airbus.
We did a joint venture with a French company for our engineering capability, because that's something which we needed to build. So we did a joint venture and got engineering capability, who have already worked with Airbus, and the joint venture has done work for stress relieving and other stuff for Airbus. and their own aircraft.
But Punj is working towards a grander plan and wants to ensure it has the capability from design to manufacturing aerostructure parts and to undertake MRO activities. It has taken a strategic stake in private sector MRO ever.
It's a strategic in nature. It's approximately 17% stake which we have. But all the, more than the stake, all the defense MRO work which comes through Punj Lloyd. So we are the ones who hold the licenses and we work with Airworks to deliver it.
Punj has recently taken the decision to revive its small arms license. It's currently awaiting approval from the Ministry of Home Affairs. It hopes to begin with manufacturing small arms components at Malanpur and then move to a full-fledged assembly of revolvers and automatic machine guns. It hopes to start manufacturing small arms by next March.
We have formed a company called Punj Raksha. We have already applied for the small arms license there, and we want to start small arms business. As I said, that's the second phase. From now on, we want to make components as well as make finished product eventually.
Final segment for Punj is the homeland security space. It is the only Indian player to bid against foreign companies for full body truck scanners and container scanners. It's already tied up with foreign partners for technology. The tender seeks to buy up to 5 full-body scanners and 3 container scanners, and this order could further be upgraded to 300 in the future.
We are the only Indian player who are bidding and wants to absorb the technology here and manufacture container scanners or full-body truck scanners in India. Eventually, first we'll start with supplying for the tender. There are 2 tenders. One is for container scanners, one is for full-body truck scanners. So we'll be supplying that with a partner. Then eventually we will go, as it grows, the business grows, we will assemble and put it together here and then supply.
Unlike some of its peers, Punj is also focusing on the offset market. It is the offset partner for Italian shipping company Fincantieri for providing shipping components and with Saab for providing radar masts.
We are also working with OEMs, either be it their offsets or developing products for them. We have developed a product for Saab, which was a critical component which they wanted to engineer here and manufacture and export from here, which we have done. It's under testing and we are in talks with increasing that business.
Punj Lloyd has so far invested nearly 200 crores in the first phase of the Malanpur expansion. It now plans to invest another 50 to 60 crore rupees to set up the assembly, fabrication facilities and small arms component facilities. It hopes to double the order book in defense to 110 million by the end of the year and $1 to $2 billion by 2020.
Notwithstanding the challenges it's facing in its core business, Punj is committed to invest further in the defense sector. It's targeting an order book of $1 billion over the next 5 years and hopes air defense and artillery will be core drivers for the company while it builds scale in the aerostructure space. Coming up after the break on Make in India New Deal for Defence, Rituparna Bhuyan speaks with Atul Punj, the chairman of the Punj Group, on the challenges faced by the group.